Couple of heavyweights ready to see who is going to show up on top tonight in the ECC Large. We've got Norwich Free Academy at New London at the John T. Conway Gymnasium, and it's only on game day. Live on theday.com, Casey O'Neill, along with the sports doctor Keith O'Brien. And sports doctor, tonight, two teams, no strangers to each other, both sitting atop the ECC, looking to stay there in tonight's battle.
Yeah, big game tonight, Casey, as far as the ECC Large goes. Again, East Lyme in the driver's seat a little bit. Both these teams looking to make their mark and possibly secure the number 2 seed in the tournament coming up.
Well, these two teams played only a few weeks ago. New London with a 3-point buzzer beater victory over NFA, and since then, NFA has won 5 out of 6. They're playing very good basketball, and their only loss, a buzzer beater to Prince Tech, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. These two teams are kind of two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, exactly right, Casey. And, NFA had a big win earlier this week against Ledyard, and they're ready for action today. They know this is not going to be an easy game, tough gym to play at. They're ready to roll.
Prince Tech undefeated, rolled into NFA, beat them at the buzzer, came here to the John T. Conway Gymnasium last night, lost at the buzzer. Both teams playing excellent basketball. Let's take a look at the players to watch in tonight's game.
Yeah, sure thing, Casey. For New London, how about Gio Lopez? Senior guard, all-state in football, that brings the same kind of toughness to the hardwood. Lopez is a ferocious on-ball defender, and he's not afraid drawing the tough assignment for Coach Craig Parker. Scoring on the break or knocking down a mid-range jumper, Lopez brings the energy every night for this Whaler team. And for NFA, how about senior forward Aiden Miller? Big, strong scorer, can hit the deep three or put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. Miller's size and strength, Casey, make him a force on the low post and on the boards. Aiden's a senior leader for Coach Giusti and the Wildcats this year, very focused on a run to the ECC title.
Well, we'll see how that goes tonight. New London's Isaiah Benson is not your typical center. Undersized and often overlooked, this relentless rebounder has been a breakout star for the Whalers. Benson gets the high screen, through the legs, drives, left-hander no good, but the follow by Isaiah Benson.
I like the fact of being overlooked.
And at the end
it's a challenge, so it makes me want to play harder and show people that they shouldn't overlook me or my teammates.
If you were to scout us and you see us playing, basically 6 foot, 6'1" primary inside player, teams might have a tendency to overlook that and, maybe not do their checklist properly on him. But, he can do some damage out there if he has opportunities.
Well, I had to let go of the playing outside, like on the three-point line, and focus on the paint, like grabbing rebounds. We have a lot of guards, me and Elijah Parker and Devontae. We're the ones that have to be down there and get the rebound, so that's what I work extra hard on because I know the guards can handle what they have to do.
Isaiah has come into his own this year as a senior. I think he gives us what we're basically lacking as a team. He gives us somewhat of an inside presence around the basket, even though he's somewhat undersized. He has a decent skill set around the basket in terms of scoring ability. I mean, you're not going to get shot blocking from him and things of that nature. But, his teammates enjoy playing with him. He plays hard, and he's been a big attribute to our program.
1, 2, 3.
I just go out there and give it 110%. Just go out there, try my hardest, and do what I have to do to help my team win.
Blocked at the rim by Sutman.
We could be better than what we are right now.
Benson gets the rebound and puts it back in. Isaiah Benson with the finish.
If we work more on the defensive end and let the offense come to us, that we could go far. Not ECCs, but state playoff-wise.
Benson from the baseline is good.
Try to get a banner on the wall. That's what me and all my teammates want.
The ability to rise up by Isaiah Benson and hit that shot. Well, he may be a little undersized, Casey, but he is big in heart and stature and does the dirty work for Coach Craig Parker down low in the paint.
I thought last night against Prince Tech was the first time he ran up against athletic bigs. All year long in the ECC, he's had some kids bigger than him. Last night, he went up against college-level bigs, athletically running the floor, and he held his own again last night as well. He is all heart and determination, great athleticism, and they're going to need him tonight because NFA's got a big of their own.
Yeah, a little chip on his shoulder out there does Isaiah Benson.
Well, NFA's Aiden Miller has become one of the best all-around players in the ECC. But it's the team concept that he embraces that has Coach Chris Giusti's Wildcats thriving.
Aiden's a team guy. He's always put the team first. He loves being a Wildcat. And he loves wearing the red and white. And he brings that pride to the court every time we have a game, every time we have a practice. He can finish with contact. He's always been able to shoot from the outside, but he's diversified his game. He can handle the ball a lot better. And he's one of our best rebounders.
Last year there were like a lot of scorers, and when we lost all that, we lost probably like 80% of our scoring. So I knew that I was gonna have to do more than just catch and shoot. So this summer I put in a lot of work to get to the basket and shoot on the perimeter. I worked with a lot of these guys too, and they all improved their game because they knew they would have to step up too.
Every year he's added something, and he keeps getting better. And just a good kid in and out of the classroom and on and off the court. Anytime NFA plays New London, it's a big game. It's still the big rivalry in the ECC, and I know that other teams have come to the top here and are competing well. But in terms of a marquee matchup in the ECC, NFA New London is always going to be a big game.
We definitely feel like we aren't getting as much attention as these other teams, but I think we just use that as fuel to come out and show them who we are. Every other large team in this division has had a close game with another large team in the division. And the teams that we played so far, when we lost by a few points, and every game that we've lost, we only lost by a few. So I think we're definitely one of the contenders.
We've operated all season long as everybody's got to do their job. In order for this team to be successful, we can't rely on one or two guys. We don't have Batman and Robin. We have a group of guys that have jobs, and they have to do those jobs. And when everyone does their job, we're very good.
You know, playing together, Casey, for Aiden Miller and his teammates, Alex Gomes, Brendan Scholes, Tyler Briggs, Brendan Marr, all seniors, and all developed that team concept playing together. Unselfish basketball has played big dividends for Coach Giusti and the Wildcats this year.
Well, they're going to have to stick together tonight against another senior-laden team here in New London. We're almost there to opening tip. Come back on the other side. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
The Storyline Podcast. Conversations with journalists about the communities they cover and the stories they report.
An anonymous tipster said that the DOT workers and contractors on scene had to run for their lives as this dump truck careened toward them. Naturally, something that I wanted to follow up on.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
The following is a presentation of The Day.
Rivals, simply defined as competing with another for the same objective or for superiority in the same field of activity. It's no wonder we love a rivalry. NFA is 11-5 and rolling, winning 4 of their last 5. Their only loss a buzzer beater to undefeated Prince Tech. Head coach Chris Giusti loves his defense, and with emerging star Aiden Miller leading the offense, the Wildcats have one objective: an ECC championship. New London is 12-4, and only East Lyme has solved the Whalers' puzzle in the ECC. Isaiah Benson is a breakout star, and balanced scoring from Gio Lopez, Eduardo Gonzalez, Elijah Martinez, and Jalen Benson have made the Whalers the team nobody wants to play. 2 of the ECC's top teams are looking to prove their superiority and accomplish their objective, but only one can. It's the NFA Wildcats at the New London Whalers. It's an old-fashioned rivalry, and it's on Game Day, live on theday.com.
2 senior-laden teams ready to duke it out here tonight at the John T. Conway Gymnasium. Sports Doctor, we are ready for action on Game Day, live here on theday.com. And what are your thoughts here about ready for tip-off tonight?
Well, I mean, New London's beaten everybody but East Lyme in Division I in the ECC. You know, NFA's played a tough out-of-conference schedule as well. They've beaten a lot of teams, too. I mean, Casey, this is one of those 50-50 games. Loose balls, Latin turnovers. You know, that could be the key tonight in tonight's ball game.
I think last night's big emotional buzzer beater, Gio Lopez, half-court shot for New London here to beat Prince Tech. You got to be very careful to not have a lull coming back tonight, especially the way NFA plays offensively and defensively.
Very methodical approach to the game for the Wildcats. And again, that's a good point. You know, New London does not want to come into this game and sleepwalk off that high last night of Gio Lopez hitting a half-court shot. I don't think they will. I think they understand the importance of this game. It is a league game, so you tend to get up a little bit higher for league games.
Yeah, we are in the home stretch of the ECC season, so all of these games take on added importance. Everyone's jockeying for position and seeding, and certainly neither one of these two teams wants to get knocked off of their present perch. But you just got to be careful. It's Friday, the end of the week, back-to-back games. The crowd is not as capacity as we've seen some from other nights. You got to be careful about that little lull.
Well, I'll give you the lull, but the one thing I won't give you as high school kids is them being tired. I still don't buy into the fact that an 18-year-old kid, 16, 17-year-old kid can get tired on back-to-back nights of basketball. You could do game day on back-to-back nights, Casey.
I could do it, but I'd have to sit. I'd have to sit for both of them. So we're only moments away from tip-off here. And Sports Doctor, gut feeling, what do you think the tempo of the game is going to be tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be a slow tempo if NFA has its way, and if New London has its way, it's going to be a little bit of a helter-skelter matchup up and down the floor.
So if you had to guess, is New London going to be able to inflict their will and turn this into a sloppy game, or is NFA going to be able to play this game in the 40s, which I think is if New London cracks 50, I think NFA is going to feel like they didn't play good defense.
We've talked about this before, Casey. We talked about this game being played at 55 to 53. You know, 1 or 2 possession game with 2 or 3 minutes to go. Then it comes down to the playmakers. You know, whether it's Isaiah Benson, you know, it's Gio Lopez, Aiden Miller, you know, Brendan Scholes. I mean, somebody from one of these two teams will have to make the play, I believe, in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I think NFA prides itself on its defense. New London prides itself on its helter-skelter nature. And all of these kids tonight are going to have to show up to play. And on that, let's take a look at the players to watch all throughout tonight's game.
Aiden Miller, Moriarty Elementary.
Brendan Scholes, University of Franklin.
Alec Gomes, Moriarty Elementary.
Brendan Marr, Moriarty Elementary.
Brett Wood, Tilted Towers Elementary.
Nick Hay, Horace W. Porter.
Lloyd Perkins IV, Veterans Memorial.
Tyler Briggs, Franklin Elementary.
Xavier Marquez, Waquanic Elementary, home of the Woodchucks.
Mason Jackson, Sales Elementary.
Carlos Martron, Greenville Elementary.
Evan Sannon, Waquanic Elementary.
Andrew Gromko, St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Giovanni Lopez, V Harbor School.
And Jalen Benson, Harbor Elementary School.
Aurora Gonzalez, 3 Points Elementary School.
Elijah Martinez, Harbor School.
Isaiah Benson, Winthrop Elementary School.
Sincere Gray, Gallico Elementary School.
Noah James, Harbor Elementary School.
It's the Sports Doctor, Keith O'Brien. You want to hear from local coaches, athletes, and personalities? Well, how about giving my weekly podcast a listen? I mean, do you have a kid in mind, though, John, who would take the last shot down by 2 with, say, 6 seconds left?
God almighty. I mean,
I give you a look at sports from a fan's perspective as well. Do you have a problem with him pulling up from about 35 feet, from the basket, Coach?
We have had talks about this.
The Sports Doctor here on theday.com.
Whose brush strikes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets rattled, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
We ask that you please remain standing until our colors are retired. Thank you.
Game Day is brought to you by the award-winning Submarine Car Wash and Detail Center. Located on Route 12 in Groton, they're your local experts in auto detailing. A variety of car wash coupons are available on theday.com. Print and stop in today. Also by Family First Life. Family First Life is a team environment, hiring many current and former athletes because they understand competitiveness and teamwork. If you're looking for part-time or full-time work, apply online at familyfirstlife.com. Sports Doctor, why don't you give us the Sports Doctor's keys to tonight's game?
Yeah, sure thing, Casey. The keys to the game tonight for New London: helter-skelter, turnovers, bad passes, wild shots are just a few things New London's defense will try to pressure the Wildcats into doing. Get to the rim. Guards can't settle for the three tonight. Make a commitment to get to the rim and score. And last but not least, rebound. One and done on a defensive end and create second chance scoring opportunities for the Whalers. For NFA, pace yourself. NFA will need to remain patient on offense to dictate their own style, pace, and tempo. Opportunity knocks. Wildcats have a handful of players who can knock down the open three. Make your shots, guys. And Road Warriors. The John T. Conway Gymnasium, Casey, is not an easy place to play. NFA will need to stay focused on the game and not get caught up in the emotion of the crowd.
You know, Sports Doctor, the NFA Wildcats and their families are not the only people tonight rooting for an NFA victory. East Lyme clinches the Division I title outright with an NFA win tonight. So some interested Vikings in tonight's crowd as well.
And there's a couple of them sprinkled out there. So J.R. Gandenbarger come into the gym, and again, it's a big, big game in the league, Casey, as far as Division I standings go. Listen, the goal at the beginning of the year is to win a division title. And NFA and or New London could take a step closer, or East Lyme could actually clinch that by default tonight.
You know, Sports Doctor, we go back to last night's victory over Prince Tech, and for the first time this year, New London really didn't handle the size of Prince Tech early. NFA has more team size. They don't have a lot of individual size, you know, even Brett Wood notwithstanding. But what New London's had a lot of success doing defensively is taking out the best offensive threat on the other team. And that has started with perhaps the most unsung defensive player in the league, and that's Gio Lopez. He's played Mikey Bassetto, Dev Ostrowski, Prince Tech leading scorer in the state last night, and held them all below their scoring average. Will we see him tonight on Aiden Miller?
I would say yes. He will get the tough assignment for Chop Parker on a defensive end. And it doesn't matter if his man is a little bit bigger than him, doesn't matter if his man is faster than him. Gio has that ability, Casey. He is the quintessential lockdown defender.
Well, he's going to have an early assignment because Aiden Miller has become a real breakout star this year in the ECC. Brett Wood, the center, going to jump it up with Elijah Parker. And we are ready to go underway here in New London.
Yeah, it's a big game tonight. Like I said, we're getting to the crunch time here in the league, Casey. I'm fired up. I'm ready to roll. You're back home. New London High School, your stomping grounds.
New London in white, and the opening tip is controlled by New London. Benson ahead to Benson. A little Benson and Benson on the first possession. And good team defense by the Wildcats, and we'll get a turnover. And right away, we see the two-man crew tonight. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Dave Cruz and Rich Ratticcioni, as Dave Cruz overturns Ratticcioni's call, and it will stay Whaler ball.
Straight man-to-man defense here by the Wildcats. No surprise there.
Scholes on Eduardo Gonzalez, the point guard for the Whalers. Sloppy pass, and it's turned over as Gomes intercepts. And the first possession of the game as Marr will control for NFA.
And again, NFA hasn't played since Tuesday night when they beat Ledyard, and New London is back-to-back situations, beat Prince Tech last night and right out the gate here tonight.
First shot of the game by Gomes, no good. Benson comes out of the pack for New London. He'll slow it down. Now goes baseline, looking for help. Kicks it to Lopez, and he dribbles it off his foot, and it will be NFA ball. So 3 turnovers here in the early going for New London. They have not got a good possession yet.
Sloppy play, 3-guard offense, 4-guard offense. Casey requires a lot of spacing. There's some bad passes out there early. New London not really in sync. Start the ball game.
Now we see NFA on there. They've twice now spread the floor. They're keeping Wood away from the basket, trying to keep the size of New London away from the basket as well. Trying to create mismatches up top.
You see the extension of the defense by Benson. Tough to pick up a dribble on the sidelines.
Inside Wood, kicks it out. 3-pointer from the corner. No good. Rebound by Benson. Up ahead to Lopez. And Lopez will go 2-on-1. Drives. Wild left-hander. No good. Tipped around and controlled by Miller. Out of the pack comes Scholes for the Wildcats.
4 or 5 different players last Tuesday night for NFA contributing against Ledyard. Guys getting free on the perimeter, knocking down the 3-ball.
Wood with a straightaway 3 from the elbow, no good. High rebound comes down to Jalen Benson. He of the fantastic pink sneakers. Love those sneakers. Gonzalez, little pump fake, drives baseline. And we're gonna get a lane violation as Parker was camped out. And he'll turn another turnover for New London.
Yeah, nice job, Casey, the last few trips by NFA. A little help defense on the baseline, keeping the guards rattled up, keeping them away from the rim, making things very, very difficult right now for New London to find any kind of space on the offensive end.
Miller, as we thought, with Lopez on him, gives up to Wood, picks up his dribble, kicks it back to Marr, and NFA will reset.
Very, very deliberate approach to the game to start by the Wildcats.
Trying to free Miller up off of a screen, nothing there. Now another reset. Benson extends his defense on Scholes, and Marr with Gonzalez on him.
Marr's got a little bit of a size advantage, can shoot it over Gonzalez if he wants to.
Gomes now Wood, foregoes the 3, takes it into the foul line and buries a 15-foot jumper. Nice shot there.
Well, that's a sweet spot right there, Casey. Rise up and hit that elbow extended jumper. Good knockdown shot by number 4, Brent Wood.
3 minutes into the game, we have our first points. Long 3 by Gonzalez off the side of the rim. That's much farther than you want there. Sloppy pass, Lopez controls for New London. Drives to the basket. Scoop shot is up and good.
Well, that's a good move by Gio Lopez. I thought that shot by Gonzalez was settling for something for about 35 feet out. Lopez gets the rebound, goes to the rim, and that's what Chop Parker wants.
What a beautiful pass that time. Gomes to Miller, and that's the way to beat an over-aggressive man, that backdoor cut.
Princeton backdoor special. Miller time for the Wildcats.
Benson tries to find a cutting Gonzalez, does, draws contact, no foul. Wood with the rebound, and Gonzalez wants a foul. He's not going to get it. Coming the other way, Marr controls for NFA. Wood into his favorite spot, kicks back out. Marr pulls up just inside the 3-point line and knocks it down.
Brendan Marr, one of those kids who had to sit a little bit last year, had to wait his turn, blossoming as a senior, knocking down a few shots for Coach Giusti.
Benson off the dribble, wild pass intercepted by NFA, but then on the other end, controlled by Scholes. Sloppy work here early on by New London.
Credit NFA to that, Casey, too. They're doing a nice job defending and taking New London out of their set.
Miller fakes the 3, drives inside, kicks, intercepted by Benson, and he's going to get a ticky-tack foul on Miller.
Frustration foul that time by Aiden Miller. So far, the pace and the style of this game is, playing into NFA's hands. 6-2, with 3:42 left to go in the game.
Yeah, New London likes to get to the basket. NFA is making a concerted effort to not let them get to the basket, and they're taking away the passing lanes when they do. Only basket so far has been on a Lopez drive. We're also seeing the lineup that Mike DeMauro is not a fan of. He likes the 4-guard lineup with Benson, and then we got Parker and Benson in the game right now. Lopez breaks down off the dribble, but loses it in the paint. Parker kicks it out to Gonzalez, who drives. Little floater, and he gets the roll.
Tough, gritty move that time by Eduardo Gonzalez. Picking up the loose change on the perimeter and knocking down the jump shot. cuts the lead to 2.
Miller on the left elbow, kicks inside. Wood from the foul line, and he knocks it down again.
And again, very patient for Brett Wood. Comes off the block, turn and catch it high, shoot it high. I like the action so far early from the big man.
Gonzalez, quick pull 3. No good, back rim, and tipped out of bounds. We're going to get a foul on Elijah. I think they're going to call that on Benson. It will go against it will go against Isaiah Benson, and it will be NFA ball.
Nick Hay will check into the game for Chris Giusti. You know, Casey, I think a couple of these three-point shots early for New London are almost forced shots, out of the rhythm, out of flow a little bit, just kind of forcing the issue a little bit are the New London guards.
Hay, who's very much instant offense.
Miller got away with a push-off there on Gio Lopez, non-call.
There's Hay to underneath. Back up top, three-pointer from the edge is good by Marr.
5 points, the kid can stroke it from the corner.
Ahead, Benson beating Wood down the court, and a nice look, and Isaiah Benson with the finish. Inside, Miller tries to draw the foul on Lopez, but he's gonna be called for a walk, and turnover will be Whaler ball as they trail by 5 here in the early going. They're gonna have Lopez run the point now. And now Benson, 3 guards in the game for New London.
Little weave here. Eduardo Gonzalez trying to double screen, run off of it.
Gets it, fakes straight away, drives, now pulls it back out.
Now, that's a case where I like to see him pull a trigger on that shot, Casey, coming off the screen with a clean look.
Gonzalez now a little too fancy, kicks back out to Lopez.
You come off the screen, get yourself in good shooter's position, catch and shoot rather than to force something.
Lopez pulls up just inside the foul line. We're gonna get a touch foul on the perimeter. That's gonna be on Marr. And we're gonna see our first Whaler substitution of the game as Elijah Martinez comes into the game. He replaces Parker, so one Elijah in for another. And then our first look at Malloyd Perkins for NFA.
Elijah Martinez, instant offense for Chop Parker. Can shoot it from the outside, can take it to the cup as well. 4-guard offense, truly, right now for the Whalers.
This has been their most effective offense much of the year, the 4 guards and Benson. Nice defense on the perimeter as Gomes picked Benson's pocket and drew the foul.
By Alex Gomes, what a career he's had. You know, just battled through a couple injuries with his knee, fought hard back. Nice to see a young man on the basketball court, Case.
Perkins, Gomes, back up top to Wood. Fakes the 3, drives down the lane, and we're gonna get a blocking foul on Isaiah Benson. I thought he had good position. Yeah. Late foul call that time, but it's gonna send Wood to the line to shoot too.
Chop Parker's now happy with that call. And I don't blame him there. It was a good, strong move and a nice defensive stand by Isaiah Benson.
Second foul here in the first quarter on Isaiah Benson.
Chop Parker ever happy with any call against his team?
No, but I think he has something there just because of the late nature of the call. You know, the whistle didn't get blown, and Wood calmly steps up and knocks them both down. And now Benson has 2 fouls, which is problematic for New London.
6 points early for Brent Wood in this ballgame, Casey. He's played well, active, knocking down a couple jump shots, getting to the rim.
Perkins on Benson. Screen and roll, nothing there. They kick to Lopez. Inside it goes to Benson. He turns, tries to find a cutting Lopez in the lane, no good. Tipped out, and Gonzalez gets it. Swings. Jalen Benson, 3-ball from the corner side, no good. Lopez on the floor, loose ball, picked up by the Whalers. Tries to dribble through traffic, and Miller picks it up. A little sloppy here. Miller goes to the basket, now pulls it out. Up top it goes Wood, fakes the 3-pointer. Swings, Perkins drives, cutter. Nice look from Malloyd Perkins to Alec Gomes for 2.
Unselfish basketball early going for the Cats. A couple of give and goes, a couple of backdoor cuts. They're up by 9.
Down under 30 seconds almost here in the first quarter. Biggest lead of the game, 9 for NFA. The Whalers looking to take the last shot. Gonzalez.
Yeah, nice job here by NFA, extending on the perimeter for the defense, not giving those 3-point shooters any room for New London.
Gonzalez drives, and he's going to get a foul on the perimeter on Perkins. And with 14 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, New London will inbound underneath.
You know, with Perkins and with Hay and with Miller, and NFA extending on the perimeter. They got a little more size out there than New London does at the guard position. Casey, so far in this game, it's kind of affected New London's style here.
Devontae Wrighton checks in for Benson. Gonzalez with Hay on him. Wants a screen from Wrighton. Gonzalez drives, kicks. Benson, 3. No good. Rebound comes down to Wood. He launches, and it'll be short. And we're at the end of one period here. A very strong start for the NFA Wildcats. They're up 15-6. We'll be back with second quarter action. You're watching Game Day live. Day.com.
The Storyline Podcast. Conversations with journalists about the communities they cover and the stories they report.
A few years ago, if I had been watching a made-for-TV movie about some future president who, and it reached the point in the movie where he tweets out a video of his former wrestling days beating someone up, I'd probably say, that's probably where I flipped it off and say, this thing is totally unrealistic.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Game Day is brought to you by the award-winning Submarine Car Wash and Detail Center. Located on Route 12 in Groton, they're your local experts in auto detailing. A variety of car wash coupons are available on theday.com. Print them and stop in today. Also by Family First Life. Are you a current or former athlete looking to earn over $100,000 a year? Well, if the answer is yes, contact Family First Life at 860-317-1324.
Well, Casey, just what we thought. New London comes out of this game to start a little bit flat, a little bit out of rhythm, forcing some shots from the perimeter, and give NFA a lot of credit. I'm very impressed with their defense, Casey, extending and harassing the New London guards when usually we see the New London guards harassing the opposition.
Yeah, 6 points in the first quarter. Yuck. Nice job by the NFA defense. They're going to have the ball to start the second period. And they've got Isaiah Benson on the bench with 2 fouls.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, too, because Brent Wood's been active in this ball game, and he's got 6 points, and he's played very well so far.
Miller into Wood. Wood fakes the turnaround, finds Miller. Baseline cut, and he walks again. That play has been there. NFA is doing a great job of exploiting the over-aggressive New London defense.
Yeah, it's a give-and-go backdoor cut. Brentwood comes across the center of the court, across the paint, sets up shop, catches, turns, and then gives the ball back to the man who made the entry pass. That time was Aiden Miller, who had a look at a layup.
New London really has not had much of good shots. Jalen Benson missed a couple of threes, and other than that, they've really not had any effectiveness here in the early going. Gonzalez drives to the basket, kicks to Benson. Benson reverse layup, got away with a travel, missed the layup, and Wood rebounds. Gomes all the way to the basket. Finger roll is good. Alec Gomes gives the Wildcats their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, and the commitment and the aggressive nature to get to the rim, whether it's Gomes, whether it's Brentwood, Casey, Aiden Miller, they're forcing the pace and the tempo and forcing the issue in this ballgame so far.
Now, Gio Lopez tried to get to the basket. He drew the foul on Malloy Perkins. That's his second foul, and he's going to head to the bench. They're going to say it was on the floor, and Lopez will inbound on the sideline closest to us.
Aiden Miller gets a little bit of a blow. Marr gets back in the game along with Brendan Scholes.
Noah James into the ball game, the sophomore for New London. Gonzalez drives all the way to the basket. Runner is no good. Ball tipped and a nice rebound. And really a great job on the defensive glass by NFA.
Yeah, one and done. Not giving New London any second chance scoring opportunities.
Gomes to Hay and Wood. Wood drives on Wrighton. Looking backdoor, finds Gomes, swings, corner. Hay with a 3 is good. Hey, Nicholas.
That is good team basketball. It's making the extra pass, trusting your teammates, knowing where they are at all times. And Nick Hay rose up and stuck the three-pointer from the corner.
And right now, the head coach of Prince Tech, if he was watching this, would go, what am I seeing here right now? What team is this? This is a team that last night went athletically up and down the court with an undefeated Prince Tech team and beat them at the buzzer. And right now, they have scored 6 points 6 minutes in here to the second quarter. And I tell you right now, this is one of those times where Chop Parker is dangerously close to putting a whole bunch of JV kids on the floor right now and sitting his seniors down.
Yeah, he could be in that kind of, we'll see what happens here as we get closer toward the first half, Casey. But they are flat. They are searching for answers. And right now, NFA has just kind of come in here and said, well, we're going to run our stuff. And their stuff right now is better than what New London's doing.
Well, offensively, NFA is running these backdoor cuts that are giving New London fits.
Yeah.
And defensively, NFA has decided to let New London shoot threes, and they have not been able to get to the basket. It's been a really effective plan. Earlier this year, in the Waterford-New London game, we saw Waterford empty their bench and put about 4 guys on the floor that we had never seen before. I think you're not that far away from seeing that here. Coach Craig Parker will be very quick to pull the trigger if he doesn't like the effort moving forward.
You're saying he's not a patient man.
Well, 20-6, how patient can you be? Watching this nonstop. Gonzalez, pullback 3 is good. Eduardo Gonzalez with a nifty move.
His best look of the night, Casey. You know, again, in rhythm, catch and shoot. Well-needed trifecta here for the Whalers.
Here's an interesting mismatch. Noah James out on Brett Wood. And we're going to get a timeout from Chris Giusti. He saw that the Whalers came out in a different defense, and he wants a timeout.
Yeah, you talk about the jobs that both of these coaches have done this year. Obviously, NFA, with a couple of kids left the program coming into this year. You know, Chop Parker, his last 2 years, actually, for him, piecing kids together. No real basketball star, but lo and behold, you know, NFA's 11-5, New London's 12-4. So I think it's got to say a lot about both guys at the helm of these teams.
Well, you know, before the season when we did our basketball preview, I think we were right on about East Lyme. I think we were right on about Waterford. And I think we were right on about Ledyard. We accurately identified their strengths and also their challenges, and I think they've lived up to exactly what we thought they were going to be, which is very good some nights and nights other times where their guard play just hurts them. We were really unsure about these two teams, and they have, and NFA more than New London has really overachieved from what we thought they were.
Well, I flat out missed a boat on New London. I'll be the first to admit that, and I was one of those guys that was, you know, cautiously optimistic about NFA, just due to the fact that they lost some star players. But again, you got some kids coming up, have waited their turn a little bit. Now they're seniors. Now it's paying big dividends for the Cats.
New London now in a zone. NFA drops it down to Wood. Wood spins, looks for a cutter. What a beautiful look to Gomes. There, beating him on these cuts left and right.
Yeah, and again, it doesn't matter what kind of defense New London dials up, whether it's a man-to-man or the zone. You know, NFA's got bodies diving to the rim, and they're finding their man.
Gonzalez drives, wild in the lane. He's going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line.
I think they call out on the floor. Dave Cruz on the spot.
So it will be, you're right, it will be on the floor. New London will inbound right onto the left of their own basket. Gonzalez with Hay defending him. Pounding the ball, double screen, gets it from Gonzalez, from Lopez, drives, kicks in the corner to James, and New London will reset. Very good defensive job here. There's Wrighton. He pulls up just inside the foul line, no good, and a strong rebound by Scholes.
5 guys on the glass, Casey, for NFA. Guards, bigs, doesn't matter. One and done thus far for the Whalers.
Hay, Scholes back to Hay. Tries to dump it down to Gomes and back up top. Wildcats swing, very comfortable against this zone, by the way. Patient, swinging the ball, making New London work. There it goes inside, back outside again. All the textbook moves that you would do against a zone defense.
Yeah.
Patience, ball movement,
pace, tempo.
Cutting to the open space. They're going to look for Wood here in the high post here in a minute.
The extra pass, Casey finding the cutter.
Nice rebound by Lopez on a rare missed shot from Gomes. Oh, and there's a nice job taking the charge that time. Scholes held his ground, he anticipated Lopez, and Lopez ran right over him.
We talk about the ACC, Casey, and what a logjam it is at the top in Division I. Well, Division II, Waterford right now in action, 61-19 over Killingly at the half. Waterford's had a big week. They could go 3-0 this week.
Well, you know, we said, I was pretty clear after they won, after they lost that game, they, after they beat Ledyard, rather, they had nothing but a soft part of their schedule coming up.
Yeah.
And we thought they were going to feast on some of these Division II teams. So far, they have done that. They're going to roll into the ECC tournament. Although, that final game of the year against this Wildcat team, as Miller knocks down a 3, suddenly that Waterford NFA game at the end of the year looks awfully promising.
Yeah, that's going to be a good ball game, no doubt about that.
Lopez all the way to the basket. Wild shot, no good. Strong rebound underneath by Parker. Kicks up top to Gonzalez, and New London will reset. Benson drives, finds a cutting Lopez. Little two-footer is good.
Oh, there you go. That's the London basketball right there. They'll dive to the rim, find the Carter and Lopez, get them an easy point-blank shot. Now let's see if the Whalers can capitalize and pay a little D. Packing it in that 2-3 zone.
Without Lopez one-on-one on Miller, though, you saw Miller right away freed up on the wing. He knew right where to go to knock down that three. Hay, Marr, and Miller.
Miller's on the weak side calling for the basketball, telling Marr to swing it. I got the hot hand, I'm opening. How to feed the machine, Casey.
Very patient. Hay, quick shot, Scholes, three, no good. Don't like that one. Martinez pushes for New London. In the corner, Gonzalez. Up top, Lopez fakes the three, drives, dishes to Benson. We're going to get a block. That's a good call. A block on Scholes. That's going to...
I think Gio, he got away with one there. You see Gio wiping the sweat off his forehead. He thought it was a charge.
I think that was a good call. I thought Scholes slid over a little late. New London inbounds. Benson. Dangerous pass to Gonzalez. NFA really extending its defense now on these guards. Gonzalez straight to the basket, draws contact on Hay. And New London now much more concerted, spreading the floor, trying to get to the rim.
Yeah, New London trying to create the mismatch by, like you said, spreading out NFA. Try to use their speed as an advantage to get to the rim. You know, Gonzalez against Hay. Whether it's Gio Lopez against Brendan Marr. You know, if you have a mismatch in speed and athleticism, take advantage of it. And that's what you've seen New London do the last 2 or 3 times on the court.
Eduardo Gonzalez at the line. New London in the bonus. They're going to need to take advantage of all the opportunities they can at the line as they trail by 12. They're going to need to eat into this lead.
And we talked about this game being 55-50, and it'd be hard-pressed to get to 55 points right now.
You know, speaking about hard-pressed, have you seen Chris Giusti's suit tonight? That's a hard-pressed suit. That man
looks good, huh?
That man can dress. Red belt, red tie.
Oh, man.
I don't even want to talk to you about the shoes.
Oh, the shoes are fly.
I like the shoes.
Oh, look at those things.
It's got to be the shoes.
He is right there now with Jeff Bernardi as far as being the best dressed coach in the ECC. Dave Cornish, I'm sorry, Coach. Yeah, but you slipped at least third on my list.
If you walked into an office,
yes,
Jeff Bernardi and Chris Giusti walked up to you,
yes,
would you not immediately say, so listen, the market's been in a lot of flux lately.
I'm here for financial help here. Can you coach me out, Coach?
New London went into a full court press after the free throws by Gonzalez, and they trapped in the corner. NFA called a timeout.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a little. The other thing that New London has not tried to do yet is that helter-skelter. We haven't seen that yet.
I haven't seen that 1-3-1 full court, just where everything breaks loose. That's the way Chop Parker likes it. But right now, I think NFA is, passing the ball very soundly, Casey. They're being very patient. They're not rattled thus far on the road in this ballgame.
No, and that was something that you spoke of, and we quite honestly thought the crowd tonight was going to be a little bigger, a little more energetic. Right there you see two men on that board. Right there you got Gil Vargas below in the red, Sam Jones, former all-star here at New London, and talking to Jack Cochran. And right there,
here we go.
Cochran and Vargas responsible for 8 of the banners. Joe McNeil. Right there's John McCula.
Mount Rush. Oh, geez.
State champions all over the place.
Oh, man.
Oh, nice drive to the basket. Wood with the rebound blocked. Lopez comes out. He's got numbers. All the way to the basket. Gio, high floater, no good. And one and done again. Here comes Miller. And Gonzalez picks it out. There's the sloppiness that they want. There's Gonzalez. Tries to find Parker. Not a good pass. There's New London, full court trap. They're trying to turn this thing ugly.
Tough place to pick up your dribble if you're Gomes just across half court. Mara turned down an open shot there, Casey.
3 by Wood, no good. Martinez out of the pack. The Whalers have numbers. Oh, what a great look to Gio Lopez for the left-handed layup. The baseball pitcher Martinez with the fastball to Lopez.
Yeah, welcome to the game, New London. Where you been for the first 17 minutes of the game?
4 Whalers now in the backcourt. Trying to break this pressure in the corner. We're going to get a touch foul on Gonzalez as Marr went towards the sideline and drew the foul.
Craig Parker screaming for the double team on the sidelines just over half court. Really wants to make NFA be uncomfortable, Casey. to the last minute 43 of the first half.
A lot of energy to play this defense. There's Miller, turns, fires, and knocks it down.
They like the stroke from the big man. The catch, the rise, the knock it down ability. Miller time.
Martinez drives to the basket. Wild shot, no good. Parker with the rebound. Pump fake, kicks it out. Martinez, 3-ball over Wood, no good. And a touch foul going in on, looks like they're going to call it on Elijah Parker with a hold. Great job by NFA underneath.
They had a tough call that time on Elijah Parker. He was just doing work down low in the paint. I didn't see much of a foul there. He must have grabbed Aiden Miller on his way up while Parker was coming down.
Nick Fleetwood checks into the game for Gio Lopez, ensuring the Whalers have one fantastic hairstyle on the floor at all times. Miller breaks pressure nicely. Here it goes to Wood. A little pump fake in the lane. He missed the bunny. Taps it around back to himself. Whalers putting a lot of physicality now. Miller, left hand is good.
Boy, the Stars are making plays. Chop Parker not happy. Calls timeout. Calling for a travel. But I tell you what, Aiden Miller, senior, has stepped up in this ball game in the first half.
Well, you saw New London open up in Chop Parker wants to travel. He's not going to get it.
No.
New London opened in man, and they got burned repeatedly backdoor baseline. They moved to that 2-3 zone and got beat on the wing. And so they went to this full court trap trying to just make it ugly, and it worked for a couple of possessions. But NFA senior teams like that with multiple ball handlers, very difficult to do that to them.
Right, and they've got a little bit of size at the guard position. Again, we talked about the size of, Aiden Miller, of Marr, of Gomes, that they can throw the ball, pass the ball to beat the pressure, and that's the way to defeat the press. Pass the ball, beat the pressure, get open looks, and last time down with Aiden Miller is just exactly what they did.
And something we do teach kids, sports doctor, the difference between beating the press and attacking the press.
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct, Casey. Beating the press is getting the ball over half court, picking up your dribble. Attacking it is making the extra pass and making the commitment to get to the rim. Great point.
Benson to the basket, over Wood, and it's good.
That's attacking the pressure. That's attacking the defense. Get to the rim. Create easy scoring opportunities.
Here comes more full court pressure over the top. Hay picks his dribble up. Miller, he drives to the basket, 2-on-1, finds a cutting Wood. Layup is good.
Aiden Miller is a facilitator, not only as a scorer, too, Case.
Martinez and Benson now. NFA drops back pressure. Benson looking for a screen from Fleetwood. Wants to go one-on-one with Hay. Crossover, nothing there. And the Whalers will reset with 20 seconds remaining in the half. Excellent half by the NFA Wildcats. They're going to go into halftime with at least a 13-point lead, or a 10-point lead rather, and as much as 13. Benson gets the screen from Parker. Wanted to roll, didn't get it. Gets back from Parker. Wild shot, no good. Rebound and a long throw by Miller is short. And at halftime, you could not ask for a better half of basketball from NFA. They have a 13-point lead, 30-17. Sports Doctors with Chris Giusti. Sports Doctor.
Well, Coach Giusti, you happy with the pace and the tempo of the ball game in the first half?
I'm happy. The message at halftime is this game's not over. We're playing the Whalers. We're going to see pressure. You guys do a tremendous job, Sports Doctor. I just want to say what you do for the kids in this area. It's really tremendous, and I commend your whole team. Great job as always.
All right, Coach, good luck. Listen, handling the pressure on the road, Chris Giusti. Thanks a lot, Coach. Casey?
That's fantastic. He answered all your questions and complimented you, and he's out. He doesn't only dress well, he is the interview of the year. He's Chris Giusti. We're at halftime. We'll be back with the halftime show. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Kaylee's a setter, so that's the most important position on the floor. Setter's kind of like the quarterback in football, right? They dictate everything that's going to happen with our offense. They touch the ball ideally on every single possession.
I started volleyball at Lyman Volleyball Camp when I was like in 6th grade. That's how I got into it, and I started loving the game.
She was a setter on our JV team as a freshman. I actually saw her before that because we ran a volleyball camp here, and I knew she was coming to NFA, and we knew how talented she was. So by her sophomore year, she was setting on the varsity team, and last year she had a fantastic year. She was honorable mention All-State in the Class LL. So, you know, you kind of knew from the very beginning that she had the potential to be something special. The great thing about Kaylee is such a great athlete, and she gets to so many balls that even if we're not passing great on any given night, she's able to get our offense going given her athleticism and her ability to get to so many balls?
This year I definitely had to take a little more leadership. We had 4 seniors last year, so this year we had young players playing the varsity spots, and we weren't as experienced because the 4 seniors were starting. So me and the other captain, Danny, we were the only ones with really the varsity experience. So we had to kind of take over and show the ropes and get the team comfortable.
Not only did we lose some important seniors on our team last year, but we lost our 2 leading scorers and we lost some big personalities. So Kaylee kind of had to step into those shoes and take that leadership role and
just be positive 24/7, like in practice and in games, even when we're down. Like, we had a rough start this year. We played pretty much the 4 best teams in the ECC our first 4 games. I mean, all of them were close, and so we didn't want the team to get down, so we just had to stay positive, and that's one of the biggest parts of being a captain.
We are at halftime, and the sort of despondent Whaler crowd right now is they're seeing their Whalers down 13 points to the NFA Wildcats. The Sports Doctor has our special halftime guest. Sports Doctor, who you got?
Well, Casey, we're a long ways away from the 1991 state football championship game against Ansonia, but I've got interim AD here at New London High School, Kazi Fletcher. Would you ever in your wildest dreams thinking you'd be scoring touchdowns in high school and then back home as the AD of your high school?
I would never in a million years think I'll be back here, but I mean, I couldn't be more blessed and more fortunate to be back at home at New London.
Well, listen, this is a big job, obviously, AD at New London. You know, what have you learned since day one, since you took the assignment?
Just the demand of the job itself. You know, there's so many integral parts that go on that you don't see in the background that needs to be done, as far as with administration, our programs, and our different sports. So you never know what's going on in the background until you're actually in that driver's seat. So it's definitely a challenge, but it's a blessing at the same time.
Couple of sleepless nights maybe trying to figure out snow changes and schedules and stuff?
That's always a nightmare. I mean, we had definitely a lot of snow, so scheduling games and makeups has been a bit of a challenge, but we do what we can. We're playing back-to-back tonight, so I mean, it's just one of the things that we have to do. Our players, they practice and get ready for the challenge and do their best. So the tradition of New London athletics. Yes.
You know, the state championships. You're part of it as a player. You're part of it now as an administrator.
Yes.
It's something different. NFA, Waterford, Stonington, some of their schools, Fitch, they don't quite experience that thing of the New London tradition.
Right.
What does that mean to you as a former player and now as an AD?
It means everything. I mean, being in those shoes, being able to do those things, I can feed that down to the next generation, knowing what it takes to get there, knowing what it takes to work hard to get there, and then giving that knowledge out. It's easier for them to be receptive to it. So it's one of those things that I just try to instill to our players.
Now, is this a special time for New London sports? Obviously, a good run the last couple of years of Juan Roman. You're looking for a new football coach.
Yep.
But the girls' basketball team, state champions last year, locked and loaded this year. And what a heck of a job Craig Parker's done with the boys. Very special to be here in New London.
It's just a hungry time. They can feel it. They can sense it. They're fighters. They're warriors right now. And when we get time down to the ECCs and the states, they seem to get that strength and that little gut check, and they just battle it out night after night. So
the role of the AD is over after basketball season is over, correct?
It's never over. Never over. So it's more, we got spring coming up. Our baseball team's going to look phenomenal. Our softball team's battering. We got a girls lacrosse team that's starting up this fall. Tennis. We have a bunch of different sports. Track. We actually have our indoor track over at States today. So, I mean, we're constantly improving in all areas of the game.
Well, it's very intimidating for me, Casey, to stand underneath all these state championship banners. But this man put a few of those on the wall. Kazi, the last thing I want to know is, in a big game like tonight, on theday.com, who picks out your wardrobe? Is it your wife responsible for that, or do you actually pick out the swab outfit?
I'm not going to take credit. I'll be a foolish man if I did. She definitely does do the picking for me. So. And like a good man, I wear it.
It's a lot of work, I'm sure, being the AD, but I'm sure you have a lot of fun with it.
I do. I enjoy being home. I enjoy our students. I enjoy our staff, our administration. We got a great system here, and we're just trying to take this thing to higher heights and make the best out of our students.
Casey, it's a New London thing. I don't know about it, but you know about it. Kazi Fletcher, the man on the job. Case.
There it is, the 1991 state championship banner of Cassie Fletcher. The great Jim O'Neill's call on the opening kickoff. Cassie Fletcher is 88 and out the gate as he took the opening kickoff back 88 yards for a touchdown against Ansonia. Well, these New London Whalers today are down 13 points to these Wildcats at NFA. They're going to have to turn it around. We will be back with second half action on the other side. You are watching Game Day live on theday.com.
All we ever tell our kids is, we just want W's. That's the first thing. We just want W's. Whatever it takes to win a particular game, if it's a zone, if it's full court pressure, if it's a combination of both, we're pretty versatile. We don't have any problem. We don't have problems playing whatever style dictates at that particular time. But yeah, that's a trademark of New London basketball over the years. At times, most of our teams have the ability to apply pressure and to turn it up, to turn it up a notch, so to speak.
My sophomore, junior year, we had Major Roman, Melquan Gomez, so guys 6'5", 6'2", so we could always depend on our postmen. This year, it's more guards, like Coach said, Elijah Martinez, and our big man like Benson. He's undersized, but it's working.
I want to say I'm crashing the rebounds a little bit more. Last year I didn't have to crash really because I had Major Roman and Melquan Gomez down low. But now we don't got that size, so it's my job to crash.
I just say, everybody do their job, play defense. I feel like we're the best when we score off turnovers, and that's just what we have to do.
Teams get pumped up to play us. We're the program in this area. We're the measuring stick. So, win or lose, we're still the measuring stick. And we just got to go out, play smart, play our game, keep our heads, and do what we do best. That's all.
I feel like every team in these cities, like, when they see the schedule, they see New London, they circle it down. They're like, that's the game. So it's like, but we don't try to buy into it. Like Coach said, we take it one game at a time. We just want to win every game. So that's just how we see it.
Game Day is brought to you by Family First Life. Family First Life can meet all of your life insurance needs. Contact them for a free quote at 860-317-1324 or visit them at familyfirstlife.com.
That was a tremendous halftime spot with Cassie Fletcher. Boy, that's got to bring back some memories from you, just the state championships. And, again, he talks about, the New London mystique and the tradition and what you carry with him. It hasn't gone anywhere, Case. Crazy.
I don't want to make too much of it, but an example would be when Prince Tech comes and plays at East Lyme later in the year, when Prince Tech played at Norwich early in the year. For those teams, that Prince Tech game's a big game.
Yeah.
And I'm not suggesting it wasn't a big game last night, but not one kid in New London or one fan thought that was an upset last night.
Right.
That's sort of the
swag.
We've got this, and they don't believe that they're not the best team on a given night.
Well, again, like you said, we talked about that. They don't ever think they're the underdog.
No.
They could be 2-10. It doesn't matter. They're going to roll out the New London tradition, and it's amazing how long that carries with you. Again, you're talking about state championship banners from 1983 on the board, and those guys believe in that stuff. I mean, you do, right?
I do. It's part of the culture, and it speaks volumes right there. This whole place is littered with those banners. They're only there for the state championships. And right now, that's the kind of mistake that they're going to draw on.
Right.
You're down 13 at halftime, lackluster game. That's what you're drawing on. Look up there.
Right. Now, New London's going to be in trouble for getting a technical foul because it is ready to start the second half, and they're nowhere to be found. Chop Parker must be doing work in the locker room, and here come the Whalers out of the tunnel over there. Chris Giusti's got the jacket off. He is ready to roll. He's ready for action in the second half, but a very somber approach to the court here to begin the second half by a Whaler team that I'm sure was spoken to very thoroughly down in the locker room.
Yeah, NFA played a brilliant first half. Both sides of the ball, and we can't say enough. I mean, I don't want this to become what New London did wrong. That team right there, NFA Wildcats, did exactly what Chris Giusti drew up. He said, defensively, we are going to pack it in, not let them get to the rim. They took charge. They interfered with every pass to Cutter.
Jump passing lanes, yes.
Yep, and then offensively, he said, we are going to take advantage of their cutting. We're going to take advantage of them. We're going to cut back door. And they did. And as soon as New London went zone, they immediately figured it out. As soon as New London went to press, they immediately figured it out.
Yeah, the over-aggressiveness by New London's defense in the first half hurt them. Again, like you said, the extra pass, the backdoor cut, the simple things, the kick and the drive on the baseline, the knock down the three-pointer. Big second half here about to start for the Whalers.
New London will have the opening possession.
And right now, Casey, it looks like New London's going to spread the floor out and go almost with a little boxing one set on the offensive end.
Quick little jump shot from Lopez is good.
And again, if New London couldn't create space in the first half on the offensive end, that set to open the second half, they had a little space created there.
A little loose full court pressure. NFA gets it across half court, but there's the difference. Not able to sort of attack it that time, but Miller freed up with a three, and that is way off the mark. That is one of the worst shots you will ever see out of that young man right there. It almost slipped right out of the side of his hand. You could see it coming out of the hand. No good.
Almost the shank, like on the golf course. Sports Dr. Shank.
And we got a quick sub as Noah James comes into the game for Eduardo Gonzalez, who is limping off the floor. I think he may have taken a little Charlie horse right there, and he's going to take a seat, and James will be in the game for the Whalers. Benson drives to the basket, looks for a cutter, finds Lopez, loves that shot, short. There's Benson on the inside rebound, no good, and it'll stay Whaler basketball. Isaiah Benson had him to look underneath, but couldn't finish, and Lopez couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, spread offense here for New London and start the second half, almost a 4-1 set. Drive, force the ball to the rim. Nothing there. They kick to the wing for an open look and a jump shot. Much different look offensively for the Whalers here in the second half.
James drives baseline, a little fake, goes, shot is blocked by Scholes. Benson gets it, goes to the basket, hangs, and scores. Jalen Benson with the athletic drive to the basket.
Craig Parker looking for the foul over on the sidelines for the Whalers.
Oh, there's an opportunity for a steal by Martinez, can't get it. Whalers turning up the pressure, long pass, and a beautiful finish underneath.
Brendan Marr up and under. I didn't know you had it in you, son.
Had a little leap that time.
Oh, LeBron-esque.
Benson to the basket, and he's going to draw the foul on Miller on the perimeter. First foul of the second half goes against NFA.
Yeah, I like the energy New London has brought out of the locker room, Casey, to start the second half. They needed to do something to get themselves cooking, get themselves moving a little bit.
Yeah, but the problem with the pressure that they're putting right now to try to dig themselves out of this huge hole is you give up
Leave
easy
yourself
baskets.
open, yes.
You can't give up those easy baskets. You need, you have to have 4 turnovers if you're going to give up one of those.
No, again, NFA is a type of team that wants to attack the pressure, not just beat the pressure.
Benson, stutter steps, kicks. James with a 3-ball is good. That kid can shoot. Noah James with a 3-pointer.
That's a good look that time. Catch and shoot, body square, rise up and knock it down. Here comes the pressure by the Whalers.
Marr. Miller. He's got James on him now to the foul line for Wood. Harassed by Benson. In the corner. A nice return pass. Not much there, though. Kick back up top. Miller couldn't pull the trigger.
Got Hay in the corner. Marr missed him. Nick Hay calling for the ball. Nobody on him right now.
Whalers playing a little helter-skelter zone. Nice look underneath to Miller, and he's going to be on the floor. Foul's going to be against Benson on the floor before Miller could get the open layup. And I think that's a good foul because you just can't give up layups after you
point
score.
blank. No, point blank layup.
You got the lead to single digits. You can't give up layups. Inbound, nicely done to Wood. He had the body, and he scores over the top of Benson.
Benson's got to be careful, Case. He's got 2 fouls.
Jalen Benson the other side. Inside it goes to Isaiah Benson. He drives, spins, hangs in the lane, and finishes. Isaiah Benson with a beautiful move to the basket.
New London right back into their full court pressure. Trying to deny the ball on the inbounds are the Whalers.
Oh, nicely done with Marr. Drives on Lopez. There he runs right into a trap. Kicks to a cutting Miller. Miller, athletic, no good. Wood. We're going to get a foul on the floor. That's on Lopez.
Gio Lopez, a bit of a submarine cut that time on Brent Wood.
He should look for employment at Submarine Car Wash over on Route 12 in Groton. And we got a 5-second call against NFA as the Whalers turned up the pressure. And suddenly with an 8-point deficit, the Whalers in position to really chop this lead in half from what it was only 4 minutes ago.
No pun intended right there. Chop this lead.
The matching drab green on the bench for the Whalers today.
Yeah, it's very stylish. You wouldn't confuse Craig Parker with the
Well, there's a
best
stylish
coach.
Parker on the bench tonight.
Nah, it's his son, CJ.
Tough turnover at that time. Oh, no, they're going to call the offensive foul on Benson. That's a tough foul by Benson. They're going to say he shoved off. Whalers go right into the pressure. Different pressure every time. They're in a man pressure now.
And they're going to get Jalen Benson again on the outside, 40 feet from the inbound pass. And a little nickel dimer right there. And if Craig Parker wasn't hot then, he is now. That's going to be 4 on Benson.
And we're going to see Nick Fleetwood in the game. Now, Whalers right now with Eduardo Gonzalez on the bench with what seemed to be a little bit of a sore leg. And now Benson's on the floor for the duration. So we're going to have Nick Fleetwood and Noah James in the game. And a quick break on the inbound. Nice pump fake, and layup is good by Gomes.
Again, attacking the pressure. Nice job done there by the Wildcats. Easy bucket, Casey. Easy scoring opportunity.
Lopez with a scoop shot, no good. Rebound by Biggs, who's into the game. Tyler Briggs with the rebound for NFA. Briggs, who's going to UConn as a pitcher in the offseason. And we're going to get a foul on Gio Lopez as he tried to shove Marr into the backcourt.
Yeah, one of the 3 ECC pitchers headed to Division I scholarships next year. Obviously, Michael Burrows to UConn, Tyler Briggs to UConn, and Walker Sutton going to Fairfield.
That's pretty good out of this small conference in southeastern Connecticut that no one thinks can play baseball. So, oh, nice job on the backdoor cut, but Lopez intercepts it. Whalers have numbers 3-on-2. Lopez to the middle, tries to draw contact. Wild shot, no good, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, the push that time by Gio Lopez. That time you saw the speed. Saw that in the football field. All-state wide receiver for Juan Roman. Big year for Gio Lopez, Casey. One of our favorites here at Game Day. Has really turned things around. He's a tremendous young man and a heck of an athlete.
Really turned to the corner this year, became a leader.
Yeah.
And certainly a prime candidate for a spot on the all-game day team.
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him before the game over on the bench area, and he said, I am having fun. You know, last night's game winner against Prince Tech, you know, football season, the success of the basketball season, I am having a good time my senior year, Sports Doctor.
Yeah, that three-pointer against Prince Tech from right in front of our table.
Yeah.
He launched that one and got nothing but the bottom of the net on it.
I've been shooting my three-point shots. I'm ready for you.
Practicing?
Seto, yeah.
All right. I'm just planning on beating you up. Wood with a mismatch on Lopez. Misses the basket, but gets his own rebound. Misses it again. And Isaiah Benson comes out of the pack. Lopez pushes for New London. All the way to the basket. Running left-hander. No good. Too wild. Now numbers the other way, and NFA's looking to push. Up top. And the Wildcats will settle back. They're going to be deliberate.
They can almost hear Chris Juicy from the other side of the court. Patience, patience.
Oh, there's a cut. Nice job, but the layup's missed. We're going to get a foul. See the foul underneath. A beautiful cut by Hay and Wood. So Wood and Hay. Hay and Wood.
I got a technical foul on Elijah Martinez. And Chop Parker is in danger zone right now. He wants to know what's going on. This is one of those times you're just going to sit back and watch and take it all in.
Mark it down, 3:52. NFA is going to have 2 shots at the basket, plus the technical,
and
plus the ball.
Yeah. Who was the voice of reason over there for the Brain Trust when Coach Parker loses his cool a little bit?
Right now, CJ.
Yes. Yep. See, and then exactly that. CJ's got the kids over there on the side. He's going over the clipboard with Coach Arnie De La Rosa.
And they're going to see Hay going to the line. These are the free throws on the cut to the basket. So these are the 2 free throws. Hay knocks the first one down.
Yeah, so 4 free throws and then possession of the basketball for NFA. Big juncture in this game, Casey.
And I love this move. Kid just knocks 2 down, and they got the technicals. Stay there.
Yeah, you're good. You're in rhythm.
That's right. Keep going.
So you go from 8 you could possibly go from being down 8 by New London to being down as much as 15 with 1 possession.
Hay knocks 3 in a row down. And we're going to get a substitution in the game.
Well, he would substitute after the free throw. I don't know why he's going to be allowed to let in the game. It's a dead ball situation.
1 more for Hay. 4 for 4 from the line for Nick Hay. And possession of the basketball. Just like that, it's back to 12.
And that technical foul will find Elijah Martinez on the bench next to CJ.
Wood gets the inbounds. Tyrone Santiago into the ball game for New London. Interesting lineup on the floor right now for the Whalers. NFA very patient. Whalers trying to trap. Miller drive baseline. Tries to find a cutting Wood. Loses the ball. It's loose. Santiago comes out of the pack with it for New London. Aggressively goes to the basket. Young man not afraid. Draws the block.
Oh, I think he's going to have to be aggressive because you look at this New London lineup right now and you ask yourself, where's the scoring going to come from? You know, you've got Benson on the bench. You've got Martinez on the bench. You've got Gonzalez on the bench. So somebody's going to have to step up and make a play on the offensive end for Craig Parker.
I think Noah James is not afraid to shoot it. You certainly know Gio will get to the basket, but you're right. Someone's going to have to figure something out here. Right back down. They've still cut the halftime deficit from where it started.
Yeah.
At 1 point. So, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, despite all of the stuff that just happened, they just got to get this thing to single digits going in the 4th quarter. Lopez pulls up from the foul line, doesn't get the friendly roll, and a strong rebound underneath from Marr.
Play a good ball game so far, Brendan Marr. Done a little bit of everything for the Wildcats.
In the corner, 3-ball, Miller, no good. Rebound to Wood. He lays it up, but he's fouled. And if that's Benson, that's going to be his 3rd. The Whalers racking up fouls left and right.
Brett Wood, active, big center, 6'4", doing work on the glass. The catch the rebound, catch it high, shoot it high. The harm, but not the hoop. Was sent into the line.
Right now, Coach Craig Parker's sitting at the end of the bench, and C.J. Parker is up on the far side of the bench with the clipboard. Right now, both sides, they get a Parker sandwich going on in New London, and they're both trying to figure out how they're going to attack this deficit.
I get frustrated. I think Craig Parker's frustrated over there as London's head coach. He got the tie off, Casey.
So you had C.J. Parker on one end, Craig Parker on the other end, and their solution is to go to the bench and bring in Elijah Parker. So Parker was coming out of this thing one way or the other.
Gio's frustrated too. Frustrating time right now if you're a Whalers basketball player.
Whalers are going to try to go big with Parker and Benson now in their little pressure. Dangerous part of the game. Biggest deficit, 14 points. Gomes breaks pressure over to Miller. Loses it. Lopez out of the pack. Lopez draws contact. We're going to get a block on Gomes, who can't believe it, and Lopez will shoot 2.
Yeah, good call there. That time Gomes was a little out of position. Didn't get there in time. Gio Lopez with the push. He attacked to the rim. And again, New London's going to have to find a way to manufacture points. With 2:27 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. They have no real scoring threat out there on the floor.
Important free throws all the way, the rest of the way for the Whalers. Down this many points, you got to knock down your free throws.
Thinking Eduardo Gonzalez over there on the bench must be hurt. He had checked out of the game just to start the 2nd half and
limped off.
Yeah, he has not come back since, whether he's got a hamstring issue or.
Yeah, he's frustrated on the bench. You can see this is a game he wants to be a part of. But you got to manage. You still got the biggest games of the year are still left to play. Gonzalez wants to be in the ball game, but they want you state tournament, son. They want you ECC tournament.
Elijah Martinez back into the game. Had to think about the technical foul. Sat on the bench for a while. Hopefully he can give New London a little spark on the offensive end.
Miller up ahead to Hay. Back to Miller. Oh,
he wanted to shoot it. Boy, he thought about it, Case.
That's a good shot, but that's just not NFA style.
I'd have let that thing go.
Oh, yeah, sports doctor. You're a chucker, though.
I got an open shot, Casey. I am going to let it rip.
Lopez attacks the trap on Scholes and draws the turnover.
I'd be one of those guys, Casey, that rised up on a three-pointer, and I'd take the heat from the coach afterwards. Coach would be one of those guys like, what are you doing? And I'd knock it down and be like, great shot, sports doctor.
Did you just say that you rose up? That you're actually proclaiming that you got up off the ground?
Yeah, I got some. Used to have some hops back in my day.
Sports doctor, I don't know.
I could jump, I could leap over a phone book with the best of them.
So as long three from Martinez, short. Rebound is there for Wood. We talked about it earlier. The biggest fans tonight of the Wildcats are the East Lyme Vikings. And of course, if this lead holds for NFA, the Vikings will have clinched the Division I title here. Stripped away, Benson with some rough
physical play, huh?
Martinez zip pass, can't complete it. Knocks down Scholes, and NFA comes out of the pack.
Yeah, things will get a little sloppy here, but the problem with that with New London, they got some guys in foul trouble out there.
They also got to score. Sloppy's fine, but you got to score. Oh, what a beautiful touch pass to Wood. Hey to Wood.
They catch it high, shoot it high. Brett Wood, senior center, having himself a ball game here down the road at New London High School.
Lopez drives, floats, hangs, no good. Benson with the rebound. He'll get fouled on the floor. But everything that went right last night for New London is going wrong tonight. And this NFA Wildcat team is not taking their foot off the gas pedal.
By a great composure the Wildcats have played with in this game, Casey. They run their stuff. They're very deliberate on what they do. They have not been rattled. They make the extra pass, backdoor cuts. Sharing is caring out there if you're the Wildcats.
Lopez, baseline, buries it.
I like that move by Gio. The rise up, 12-footer, the tough two, as Mike DeMauro would call it.
You got to start identifying this pressure. There's a turnover. Martinez comes out of the pack. He's 2-on-1. He draws contact from Miller, no foul. Rebound Lopez, pump fakes, drives, and he'll be fouled hard and get to the basket.
And Gio doesn't like that. Brendan Scholes grabbed his arm, and Gio is not too happy with that one.
Elijah Martinez wisely went in and tried to make sure that there was no contact there. Gio go to the line with a chance to cut it down to 10, which is hard to believe that they're even within 10. But right now, the problem with pressure is NFA's getting great looks out of the pressure.
Attacking
but if you don't pressure it, NFA's just going to sit on the ball for a minute at a time.
Yep. You're going to put the game in the cooler.
2 for Gio.
Put the game on ice, as they would say.
First one good. We'll see Marr to the bench and Malloy Perkins back in.
Put the game on ice, like the Olympics. Ice skating.
Ice, they start.
You don't start.
I can't wait.
You're not good. Get out of here.
Love the Olympics.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, come on. Sports talk.
Stop it.
Why don't you just move someplace else then?
Can't wait to watch the luge, the bobsled.
Curling.
Yeah.
Come on, curling's fascinating.
I'm all set.
Hockey? No, Olympic hockey?
I'm all set.
Sports doctor, sometimes your provincial nature astounds me. Nice cut to the basket and the finish by Nicholas Hay. He is offense off the bench.
Yeah, the little things right now that NFA is doing off the ball is making them successful, Casey. The backdoor cuts, players moving without the basketball, very active.
Fleetwood to Parker, layup is good. What a great look from Fleetwood to Parker. Lead back to 10. Scholes, there's a turnover. Lopez out of the pack. Pulls up from the foul line, no good. Strong rebound, tipped. Lopez pulls up and drains it from in the lane. And somehow, at the end of 3, the Whalers are within single digits. It's 8, and I have the feeling it's gonna get interesting. Come on back for fourth quarter action. You are watching Game Day live on theday.com.
It's the Sports Doctor, Keith O'Brien. You want to hear from local coaches, athletes, and personalities? Well, how about giving my weekly podcast a listen? I mean, do you have a kid in mind, though, John, who would take the last shot down by 2 with, say, 6 seconds left?
God almighty. I mean,
I give you a look at sports from a fan's perspective as well. Do you have a problem with him pulling up from about 35 feet, from the basket, Coach?
we have had talks about this.
The Sports Doctor here on theday.com.
Game Day is brought to you by Family First Life. Are you a current or former athlete looking to earn over $100,000 a year? Well, if the answer is yes, contact Family First Life at 1324 or at familyfirstlife.com.
Yeah, Coach Giusti trying to settle his team down a little bit. They salted away a big lead. They had it up to 14, and the lead was cut to 8. Just trying to make sure everybody's on the same page over there as far as attacking the pressure of New London. As far as New London goes, Casey, here's how we're going to manufacture our offense, and we're going to do it by playing defense and creating chaos out there for the Wildcats.
Well, somehow they cut 5 points off of the halftime lead in what was a tumultuous third quarter that saw technical fouls and multiple foul shots. But right now, NFA with the ball, they're methodical, they're just chugging away, and New London's going to be incumbent upon them to make turnovers.
And again, the little things that the NFA players are doing off the ball is what made them successful. The backdoor cuts, the moving, nobody's standing around watching, playing together as a team.
Fleetwood jumps, and Lopez traps. Lopez with the steal to the basket, and he's going to be fouled on his way by Gomes. There's a quick turnover to start the quarter.
Yeah, that is a dangerous spot to pick up your dribble if you're Brendan Marr, right by the half-court circle. Casey, the half-court line acts as an extra defender. So 2 guys on you in the backcourt line, swallowed up. Gio Lopez will get himself to the line to shoot 2. And had a chance to cut this lead to 6, 2-possession game.
Both teams in the bonus right now, so a lot of free throws the rest of the way. We'll be shooting the entire fourth quarter. First one for Gio is up, back rim, no good, and those are those crucial free throws.
Coach Parker is up now. He's off the end of the bench. He's back in the game. He's back in it. He said, CJ, I got this. You held down the fort for 2 or 3 minutes. Let the #1 coach all time in the state of Connecticut take over.
And Eduardo Gonzalez is meeting with the trainer over under the far door, and we're going to see, they're trying to see what they can do about him as Lopez knocks that one down. And looks like he's heading back to maybe the locker room.
They got to have some sort of a hamstring issue or Charlie horse or something tightened up on him.
He wants to get back in this game.
Yeah.
So nice look. It goes into Wood, back out. Miller, 3-ball straight away, and that is ice in the veins.
Big shot there, extra pass, knock it down from the perimeter. Aiden Miller. Big ball game on the road tonight for the Wildcats senior. I like the smooth action, Casey, the catch and shoot in rhythm.
Fleetwood gets his shot blocked, but Parker picks up the loose ball. Up top it goes to Martinez. He drives, step back, pulls up just inside, no good. Benson with the rebound, blocked from behind by Wood, but they'll get Brett Wood with the foul. And to the line, Isaiah Benson.
Isaiah Benson, one of the kids we talked about in the open, Casey, is just going to have to do the dirty work things and manufacture some offense, some easy putbacks on the offensive glass. Kid's an athlete, boy. He's got a motor and a pace and a tempo on him.
You know, all year long we have seen him outwork bigs by his quickness. But this NFA team has done a great job of team rebounding. All 5 guys to the glass, getting a body on him, and just not allowing him to beat the one guy.
Right. And Brett Wood stepped up. He's played a nice ball game here tonight. This is the best ball game I've seen him play all year.
Here
Played
comes
well.
Gonzalez, comes back. He's jogging over to the bench like he wants to get back into the ball game. Down 9, NFA with the ball into Wood. There's a little sloppy pass. Ball is loose, but they were fortunate to pick it up. Scholes with a pump fake, and now Wood from the free throw line. Drives, loses the ball, and they're going to say off of Parker, and it'll be NFA ball underneath.
Parker got away with one there. Could have got called for a hatchet job on Benson.
Breaks back into the ball game for Wood. So this is the smallest NFA lineup you're going to see. Scholes underneath to inbound to a cutting Miller for a beautiful, Briggs. What a beautiful play. Briggs on the cut, comes into the game and scores a bucket.
Yeah, set piece off the inbounds that time for Coach Giusti. A little backdoor cut, set a screen, roll to the basket. Just like that, and here come the Wildcats again.
Other end, Miller had a turnover, and Parker picks up the ball. Right now, the Whalers cannot get anything going. And we're going to see Eduardo Gonzalez check back into the ball game, along with Jalen Benson. So even with the 4 fouls, Coach Parker is making the stand right now, down 11 with 6.5 minutes.
Well, you're going to have to, aren't you? I mean, what are you going to save him for? You're going to save him for the last 4 or 5 minutes? I'm going to put him in now and see what he can do. Try to create a little offense out there. Just want to see if Gonzalez can get heated up early. He's been sitting for a long time.
Let's check him on the defensive end as well, see if he's got the lateral movement. Miller on Lopez, picked by Benson. Off to the races, Jalen Benson to the basket. No foul. It'll stay New London ball. Benson went down hard. That's a missed opportunity for New London. Benson, a little shaken up. Gonzalez drives down the middle, finds a cutting Parker, and he's going to be grabbed on the floor. And that's going to put Parker at the line. He'll shoot 1-1.
Foul on Aiden Miller that time for NFA. He got caught on Parker's back. Little reach-in job.
Give a lot of credit to NFA getting back this lead back up to 11. A lot of momentum was heading in New London's way heading into the fourth quarter. They have stabilized right now, and New London's got to knock down free throws. Parker knocks down the first one. New London's had opportunities, but NFA has just remained steadfast and very steady.
Yep.
Well, you know, two-man officiating this year. We got word that the ECC has decided to go to only a two-man crew until the finals of the ECC. And there's been a lot of controversy, and
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like that. I like the three-man crew. I like to be able to see everything on the floor.
And a nice touch roll from Marr. I think at this level the game is too physical and too fast.
Yeah, way too fast. I mean, these kids are quick out there. Not to take anything away from Rad and Dave Cruz, as you see Gonzalez go into the rim, a little scoop shot, Casey. But these kids could flat out get up and down the court with the blink of an eye.
Yeah, there's too many soft spots, dead spots, if you will, with a two-man crew. And it's nothing against Rich Radiccioni or Dave Cruz or anybody else, but you can't see everything with two men. These kids play up at the rim, they bang, it's incredibly physical. I do not like it at all.
I think the coaches like the hand checking and the pocket picking and that kind of stuff gets to be overlooked with a two-man crew. With a three-man crew, his eyes on everything. Some coaches may say, well, you're calling the game tight. No, we're just calling what we see. We got an extra set of eyes out there.
Miller goes baseline on Lopez, and he's going to draw the foul. And Lopez doesn't like that call. Miller did drop the shoulder, but that's a veteran move right there by the senior, and he'll shoot the line.
And these guys work hard, Rad and, Dave Cruz and Jigsy and, Tony Nacito and some of these other, Andy Kane, Dan Kalis, some of the refs in the league, they all work hard.
Let's not forget our man, Greg Keith.
Greg Keith, but I mean, I hate to say this, but they're not young guys. They're guys like you and I. We're, mid-40s, almost 50 years old, and, I can run with some of the kids, but that's probably just about it. They got to work hard out there.
1 of 2 by Miller. Whalers now reset. Gonzalez looking for a screen. Drives. Kicks to Benson from the wing is no good. Parker tips the rebound out. Lopez gets it. He spins to the basket. Left-hander, no good. Benson on the offensive rebound. He goes up strong. No foul. And a rebound from Miller. And a bad pass there by NFA. Gonzalez comes out of the pack with it. Nice look. Benson, he goes up. No good. Tip comes all the way out. And New London will have the set, but it is getting physical out there right now.
Yeah, and New London's had chances here. Point blank misses at the rim. Important juncture of the ballgame, just under 5 to go.
Benson to the basket and one. Jalen Benson with an athletic finish and a chance to cut the lead down to 6.
Well, the New London Whalers, Casey, keep working, and finally they get the hoop in the arm. But Jalen Benson and the NFA Wildcats want to talk things over a little bit.
At what point does the air start to get a little thin on the NFA side of things?
I think if they make this free throw, if Benson can make this free throw and cut it a 2-possession game, I think you start thinking about things a little bit.
Somehow the Whalers are within 7 with a chance to cut it to 6. The crowd is starting to get a little bit more energized, and they are anticipating. I think everybody in the house right now thinks this game's going to get to be a 1-possession game, right? Is there anybody here who doesn't think this game's going to get to 3? At somehow, some way, it's going to get to 3?
We talked about that in the open, Casey. We talked about 2 minutes to go, 1-possession game. Who will step up and make the play? Will it be Aiden Miller? Will it be Brent Wood? Will it be Gio Lopez? Will it be, Eduardo Gonzalez back in the game? So you got a handful of playmakers out there. When it comes crunch time, let's just say 2.5 to go, 1-possession game. Who steps up?
Let's not forget, New London beat NFA at the buzzer in their first matchup, a very closely contested game. This NFA team has played a number of buzzer-beating games this year.
Yeah, I mean, and the New London's played close games too. I mean, the Danbury and whatnot, but I will say this. It took New London 3.5 quarters to wake up basically Well, they're awake now. Let's just see if NFA can hang on and figure out a way to win this game.
Benson with the bonus is good. Whalers are going to go into their pressure. Man pressure. Benson on the ball. And a turnover by NFA as Briggs threw that one low and outside.
Out of the strike zone, son. What do you call it, a slurve?
Ball four.
Slider curve?
Ball four, and he's heading to the bench.
Yeah.
Coach Schusty's subbing in. We're going to get Wood back in the game on the defensive end because Wood's the defender. But New London down 6 with the ball.
Yep. 2-possession ball game, just under 5 to go. The 3-point ball away from being a 1-possession game here at John T. Conway Gymnasium.
And you don't have to go crazy. Plenty of time. Gonzalez with a nifty move finds Parker underneath, and he's going to draw the offensive foul.
Wow. Wow.
That's a tough one.
The London bench does not like it. Fan base behind the bench, up in arms. Greg Parker never likes a call against his team.
Yeah, missed opportunity that time.
Yeah.
NFA, New London's going to drop out of the pressure, play it straight, probably look to trap over half court. Lopez up top, D'ing up on Gomes.
Got to keep an eye on Jalen Benson out there. He's got 4 fouls on Brendan Marr. Got to get rid of the ball. Can't dribble through the pressure.
And another turnover as Marr overthrows Hay, and the Whalers will have the ball.
And again, those are the situations where you don't want to see kids dribbling the basketball, pounding the basketball on the perimeter, Casey. NFA has done a tremendous job of passing, beating the pressure through passing. That time, too much dribbling by Marr, forcing a turnover.
Jalen Benson doesn't like his look, so now Parker, he wants to find a cutter. Can't find anyone. Gonzalez, 3-ball, bouncing around, no good. Ball's loose. Miller comes out of the pack with it, up ahead to Wood. Another missed opportunity for New London. Great defense by NFA. In the corner, Gomes drives, kicks, up top Miller.
Settle down, NFA, settle down.
Miller drives. They're going to take their time. There's their first open look, and a beautiful shot by Hay. Great ball movement.
Yeah, extra pass. Hay camped up, foul line extended from the elbow, knocking down the big shot. 3-possession game.
Oh, Gonzalez. What a beautiful move. Slippery to the basket for number 10.
Good ball game here, Casey, in New London High School. 2 heavyweights going at it.
Whalers need a turnover. NFA going to be methodical. Got to be careful not to be too methodical, though. Take advantage when you have it.
Got to get the ball to Miller. He's your playmaker out there.
There's a trap. And Lopez, a timeout by Chris Giusti as Gio Lopez and Jalen Benson had Gomes trapped.
Yeah, when Gomes and Marr and Scholes, when you pick up your dribble that far away from the basket, you're asking for the double team. You're asking for trouble. NFA is at its best, Casey, when they're moving the basketball via the pass.
Both teams now in the double bonus, 10 fouls each way. 6-point NFA lead, 3 minutes remaining in the game. New London is going to be content, I think, trying to find those half-court traps where they exist. At some point, they're going to get over-aggressive, and they're going to make NFA shoot it from the line. NFA so far has impressed me with multiple guys that can shoot the ball. I mean, we've seen Hay and Marr and Miller and Wood. They've all knocked down free throws.
Yeah, Gomes knocked down some shots, too, yeah.
And that's a huge advantage for a team that wants to play methodically with the lead.
Yeah.
You got to be able to knock down free throws.
Yes.
That way teams can't foul their way back into the game. Here we go, under 3 minutes remaining now. Gomes with Lopez.
Look for a set piece here for NFA off the timeout by Coach Giusti.
Miller drives on Benson, and we're going to get a foul on Isaiah Benson. That's going to put a very good free throw shooter at the line in Aiden Miller.
Yeah, good D that time by Benson. Kind of stayed home, reached down. Aiden Miller forcing the issue, getting to the rim. Would have been a jump ball called there, Casey.
Yeah, I think so too. And maybe if there was a third
play
official.
on.
Well, if there was a third official, maybe they could have seen it.
Yeah. Play on, jump ball.
I think at this point in the game, again, I'm not out there trying to officiate the game, but we saw 5 or 6 plays on the other end that were very physical at the basket. I just think that, at this point, you got to let them play whenever you can.
Mandate's already set. We can't do anything about it. 2 officials.
That's right. And now listen, Dave and Rad are doing a fantastic
Excellent.
job. You know,
Excellent job.
Nothing against them. There's only so much you can do with 2. That's the bumper sticker. Only so much you can do with 2.
Oh, you're
Miller.
Well, you're getting ready for your improv in a few weeks, aren't you?
right.
Boy, oh boy.
Short on the first one. One more.
King of the one-liners.
I tried. No sports doctor. 1 of 2 for Miller, and a substitution as Scholes will come back into the ball game. Chris Giusti doing a masterful job of subbing in and out based on offense, defense, and ball handling.
Yep. Brent Wood's on the bench right now for NFA. Got a little blood on his leg. He's getting attended to over there by the trainer.
Whalers need a bucket right here, down 7.
Not a lot of size out there for NFA. So if the London wants to get to the rim, Casey, now's the time to do it.
Gonzalez in the corner to Benson. Back up top, reset.
Aiden Miller's the biggest defender out there right now for the Wildcats.
In the corner, Benson, back to Gio. Reverses the ball, loses it. Benson swings, Gonzalez is gonna have a look, pump fakes. Benson, straight away, 3, no good. And a strong rebound by Miller. But a stolen by Isaiah Benson, and the putback is good, and the lead is 5.
Again, Brentwood out of the ball game right now for the Wildcats, leaving him susceptible on the glass. The London taking advantage.
An opportunity right there for NFA, and out of the pack comes Gonzalez. He's got Lopez all the way to the basket. No foul, Eduardo Gonzalez gets it out to Benson. Benson drives to the basket. No foul. It is physical, and we're gonna get a foul on New London, and the bench is gonna go crazy. Benson's on the floor.
Craig Parker's gonna be in trouble he's gonna be in trouble over there if he doesn't calm down a little bit. Chop is hot. He is hot. He is begging for a call.
That's gonna put Aiden Miller at the line on the other end to shoot 2. That's a huge opportunity. New London had a chance to cut it to 3 and just couldn't get to the line. No fouls on 3 possessions at the rim. Got to give credit to NFA.
A lot of hard work and hustle down there by the New London Whalers. Just came up empty as Miller, a steady free throw shooter, misses the first one. Casey, Brent Wood back into the ball game with 1:45 left to go. A little size in there for NFA.
One more for Miller. It will remain a 2-possession game, and he misses that one. Strong rebound by Benson.
Missed them both, the senior.
Gonzalez, Benson, 3-ball. Got it! And it's a 1-possession game here at the John T. Conway Gymnasium. Somehow, the Whalers are within 2.
We're going to have back-to-back nights of fireworks here in New London High School. My goodness gracious.
So now I ask you, how's the air over there in the team wearing red?
Getting a little tight on the road, and the London faithful is up and at 'em here at Conway Gymnasium.
Somehow, with 1:34 remaining, it is a 2-point game. How did this happen?
A lot of heart, fight, and hustle, and just sticking with it. London keep working. They work their way through a technical foul situation, made some plays, and they knocked down that was a big 3-point shot by Jalen Benson.
Relentless in the second half, New London. And NFA, here's the downside of that methodical play. The effort that they gave. In the first half, New London was below that NFA effort. In the second half, with New London turning up the intensity, NFA stayed at that same level. But now that the game has gotten this physical, and New London started to generate some turnovers, a couple missed free throws, and now all of a sudden, you're right in it.
Yeah, I'm going to stress this point too. It's very important for the Wildcats to pass the ball and attack the pressure. Don't try and dribble through the New London pressure because they won't succeed.
All right, Gomes, 1-possession game. New London will go man. Lopez on Gomes. Backdoor, beautiful look to Miller with the left hand. What a set play coming out of the timeout.
And it's been there all night for NFA. Aiden Miller misses a couple of free throws, but I got your back, coach. I'm taking it to the rim and scoring.
Lopez, baseline, drains it.
A high floater that time from Gio. The touch, the delivery, the kiss.
And we are now under a minute in a 2-point game.
We got a wire job here, my friend. Barn burner.
Lopez hounding Gomes. Gives to Miller. Switch. Lopez stays on Miller. They have a trap.
Comes the double.
Miller's in trouble. Underneath. What a great look underneath to Hay.
Guys moving without the basketball, Casey.
30 seconds remaining. New London needs a basket. Lopez pulls up. No good. And the rebound by the Wildcats. And a foul the other way. And Hay will shoot 2. And that might be the end of the New London opportunity.
Well, again, I talked about NFA's, how they're going to handle the pressure. You're going to handle the pressure by passing the basketball, moving without it, and attacking the pressure, and it's exactly what they did.
Back-to-back possessions where NFA was patient enough to find the cutter. And that should be it. The East Lyme Vikings are 27 seconds away from capturing a Division I ECC regular season title.
A couple of the players in the house here tonight, J.R. Dandenberger somewhere. I'm sure there's a few other players behind us. First time since 2010 that they are the ECC Division I large champions. Good for Jeff Bernardi, good for those kids, Casey. This has been a 2-year, 3-year process of building up, and finally paying big dividends for them.
To put that in perspective, the starting backcourt of the East Lyme Vikings were in 4th grade the last time, or in 3rd grade the last time they won that championship. Comley knocks down both. Gonzalez drives to the basket. They need a 3. Elijah Martinez can't get it. Gonzalez out to Martinez. Wide open 3. No good. Ball tipped around. Parker. And we're going to get a foul on the floor by Wood. Parker's going to go to shoot 2. New London a miracle away at this point. NFA with a very good chance to knock off New London and shake things up in the ECC brackets. So Parker will shoot 2 for New London. One more for Elijah with 11.7 seconds remaining and a 6-point NFA lead. Up and, somehow no good. Wood with the rebound, and he'll get fouled, and we'll go down the other end. I don't know how that one didn't go down, but the NFA Wildcats 9 seconds away from what can only be called a gutsy effort here at the John T. Conway Gymnasium. Absolutely gutsy, as they have fought and fought and fought and survived the storm.
Yeah, it's a big win for NFA coming on the road like this, avenging an early season loss to these Whalers, Casey. And again, when things got a little bit hairy for them, things started to unravel a little bit. They held it together as a team. And Coach Giusti talked about it in one of the features. When we play together as a team, we're pretty darn good.
It's amazing. NFA loses to Prince Tech at a buzzer beater. They lost to Holy Cross in a really close game. They lost to New London in a buzzer beater. They have been in with great teams. New London beats Prince Tech on a buzzer beater, beats NFA on a buzzer beater, gets this one to a possession. I mean, it's just these teams are so evenly matched.
These teams are going to be a tough out, my friend, in the state tournament.
Lopez, Martinez, 3-ball, no good. 3, 2, 1, and that will do it. The NFA Wildcats have come into the John T. Conway Gymnasium and upset the New London High School Whalers by 7 in what can only be considered a gutsy and solid performance. And congratulations to the East Lyme Vikings. First time in 8 years, the Vikings are Division I champions. Regular season of the ECC, they will be the #1 seed in the upcoming ECC tournament. Who the rest of the seeds are, we will talk about shortly, because this loss tonight by New London puts the conference a little bit upside down. Sports Doctor, of course, will be speaking with head coach Chris Giusti, as well as some of the Wildcats here. 64-57, and a despondent Whaler group Oh, what a difference a night makes. One night ago, there was jubilation. Tonight, disappointment. The sports doctor is down on the floor with some happy Wildcats.
Well, Coach Giusti, first of all, how proud are you of your kids to come on here on the road and get a big win like this?
I've been proud of them all season long. So win or lose, I'm always proud of them. We made shots in the first half, and we made a couple big buckets down the stretch when it got to one possession. Great execution. That's why we practice every day, and we came out with the victory.
You know, you talk about team basketball. Your kids playing together as one unit. I think you saw a little bit of that down the stretch tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there was the athlete, the star, the leader. Maybe you forgot the team.
Right.
That's what we are. That's what we've always been. Neil Curlin taught me to build a team that way, and it's always Cats family.
Well, one thing I got to know is, first of all, the backdoor cuts, guys. You know, the give and goes. It was basically there all night against the defensive team. What did you guys see in this game?
I just always been taught since a young age to cut with that, move without the ball, and my teammates were finding me. They were overplaying, so I was going backdoor, and my teammates were finding me. It was a team effort, and I thought we played great.
You know, Aiden, how much is trusting your teammates and trusting the other guys on the floor to be in a position to make the pass? How big is that, you know, for this team?
Well, I've been playing with these guys forever, so I know to trust them. I know that Nick can shoot. I know that all my teammates can make that big play, so I'm not worried when they get the ball.
You know, Coach, you know, what does this mean for your team moving forward? Season's coming to the end. In the next few weeks, ECC tournament. This has got to help.
I mean, the season's far from over, and we got a lot left to accomplish. We got a big game on Tuesday night against East Lyme, and the division title is still up for grabs. We've been playing with our backs against the wall ever since we lost to New London and East Lyme the first time around. So one quarter, one game at a time, and we'll take them as they come.
Well, Coach Casey, if NFA kind of flew under the radar as far as game day goes, they're on the map now. Big win here at New London.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Well, the playoff picture in the ECC is a bit of a mess right now. What we know for sure is that the East Lyme Vikings are the #1 seed right now in the ECC. The New London High School Whalers were the 2 seed. They are dropped out of that position here with a loss tonight. That was going into tonight, the playoff picture. New London will switch places with NFA down to the 4, and NFA would become the 2. But there's a lot of basketball left. As Coach Giusti mentioned, East Lyme at NFA on Tuesday night. Also, New London at Ledyard that same night, Tuesday night. Listen to these. Listen to the slate Tuesday night. East Lyme at NFA, New London at Ledyard, Waterford at Bacon. Those are all teams in the top 8 right now, battling for position as seeds.
Yeah, and down the stretch they come, as if I could use a horse racing term, but it is going to be, you know, a scrum to the finish with a lot of teams very evenly matched. Again, a team like NFA can come on the road and win a game at New London. You know, Ledyard's a player. You know, I think East Lyme has kind of separated themselves a little bit, a cut above the rest. But, you know, Waterford with a big win tonight, hot at the right time, Casey. These next 2 or 3 weeks here in this league are going to be very, very interesting. This is good basketball left to be played.
If NFA can find a way to beat East Lyme, they will roll into a home game on the 16th of the month. Waterford at NFA.
Ah, huge.
And that could very well be for the top, you know, for a 2-3 game seed in the conference. Yeah. But right now, if the playoffs started today, you'd have a second round 4-5 game of New London and Ledyard.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
That's you know, you'd have Ledyard, New London, East Lyme, Waterford, you know, NFA. Those 5 teams. One of them is going to be playing each the other in that 4-5 game. So there's 5 teams, which means 2 of them are playing in the first round.
Yeah, and then you talk about a gutty Stonington team that could shoot the 3-pointer, can maybe surprise somebody. We saw Griswold do it a few years ago and get themselves into an ECC semifinal against New London. Casey, a lot of basketball left to be played. And again, you know, you talk about the league being real good, which I think it is. Look at the teams they played out of conference. Listen, games like this will make these teams battle ready come state tournament time.
Absolutely. There are, you know, nothing against the Fitch Falcons. You know, anything can happen on a given night, but the Falcons have certainly struggled. But Bacon Academy and Stonington,
tough outs.
They are not a gimme in the early part of the team. And, of course, Coach Luzzy would be the first to yell at me.
If you forgot about him?
How did you not mention Stonington? We're not laying down. So the ECC tournament's going to be fantastic with a highly competitive slate of games.
Going to be a lot of fun.
Well, on game day, we still have a host of exciting games for you as well. Our final regular season game will be Tuesday night. We'll have that New London at Ledyard game for you. And then on the 17th, that's right, folks, you are seeing it correct, the ECC cheerleading final, live from Waterford High School. Game day going on to its 11th. 11th different sport. We will be calling the cheerleading championships. And then basketball, finals of the girls, semifinals and finals of the boys, as both teams and the girls and boys head into the state tournament looking for an ECC championship.
Yeah, great shout out to the crew tonight again. Tim, Carlos, Connor, Mike, Peter, our producer behind us. This is a wonderful time of year for high school sports, Casey, and I'm really juiced up for the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, speaking of juiced up, Coach Juicy in NFA was nice about it, but was pretty clear he did not enjoy being overlooked in the early part of the season by the game day crew. And I will
I think you watched the video?
First one to admit I missed the boat on NFA. They are much better. They have played much better as a team than I ever imagined before. The Wildcats are for real, and they are making some noise, playing as good as anybody in the conference right now.
Unselfish basketball, too. Unselfish. Good team basketball, a lot of good passing, and I don't think anybody really cares who scores the most points out there, just as long as they get the W.
Yeah, well, tonight they came in and they did everything they wanted to do in this win over New London. New London back to the drawing board. If they have to regroup because they're at Ledyard, and you know that's going to be a hot box that we're going to be on Tuesday night.
The old Boston Garden relived.
That's right. My towel's going to come out on Tuesday night.
And your cushion for your
that's
back,
right.
my friend.
That's right.
All
I need my cushion. 64-57, your final score here tonight at the John T. Conway Gymnasium as the NFA Wildcats knocked off the New London High School Whalers. Thank you all very much for the crew, the sports doctor, and everyone. You've been watching Game Day live on theday.com.